Hello everybody and welcome back to the CLEN channel where we play a game and talk about anything MMA related. Today what we're going to be talking about is Nate Diaz versus Khamzat Chimaev. I'm not going to give my breakdown prediction for this just yet. I'm going to wait until about closer to, but what I do want to talk about is what everyone seems to be talking about online right now is the UFC trying to sabotage Nate Diaz because his contract's almost up. Now, Nate Diaz has been very vocal and he's been like posting stuff, like you've seen him post stuff about like peeing on the UFC property, right? And he's like, Dana White even came out and Nate Diaz sat down and Nate Diaz is like not hiding any of this, right? He's kind of like, he's not necessarily saying, yes, I said these things to Dana White, but he's not disagreeing with them. He's kind of just laughing about it, right? Making the usual Nate Diaz tweet. So Dana White's like, we sat with Nate Diaz to make a deal. He said, I want a title fight. I want Israel Adesanya, or I want to fight Francis Ngannou. Those are the only people that deserve to fight me. So they walked out, and then Nate Diaz posted a picture peeing on their property, like classic Nate Diaz fashion, right? So the UFC, a lot of people were talking about, because Nate Diaz has been so vocal about not wanting to sign with the UFC again. He's like taken off. He's going to go box Jake Paul or something, or he's going to go to a different promotion. The point is, he wants out of the UFC. He's done with this. Now, a lot of people, like I was just mentioning, that they believe that the UFC is sabotaging Nate Diaz, because if you take a look at that card, Nate Diaz versus Khamzat Chimaev is the only fight on that card. Like, don't get me wrong, as an MMA fan, like, I love watching the prelim fighters. I watch the prelims pretty much every single weekend. So this card, I will watch it. I will enjoy it, and I enjoy like most of the fighters on the card. But for a big pay-per-view card, the only fight on there is Nate Diaz versus Khamzat Chimaev. This is absolutely not okay for a pay-per-view, and God knows how much it's going to sell. Like, I know the pay-per-views haven't been doing very well in like recent times, but Nate Diaz and Khamzat are going to be the only two carrying that, and I feel like just because it's Diaz versus Chimaev, it will do a little bit better. But they definitely not doing what Israel Adesanya, like they do for Israel Adesanya, because if you notice Adesanya, I believe that the UFC wants to boost his like star power and stuff, so they load the card below Israel Adesanya because he's been having lackluster performances. But of course, that's like a conversation for another time. But the point is, they're not doing that for Nate Diaz. They're just trying to, like, they're not throwing any good fights on there. And they even with Dana White in the Contender Series, when he was doing interviews afterwards, they were like, are you planning on adding more fights? And Dana White was like, we'll see what happens, as he usually answers, right? So the point is, I don't think that they are going to add any fights to that. And what they want to do is just take away Nate Diaz's star power as he's leaving UFC. They want to sabotage him because they can sit back down with Nate Diaz when he's like, I want millions and millions of dollars if we're going to sign to fight with the UFC again. Because, of course, like, they might try to get him back. You don't know how negotiations are going to go. Plus, Nate Diaz, I don't trust a thing Nate Diaz says, so who knows if he's going to sign with the UFC again. Regardless, once he goes to sit down with other promotions, they might be like, okay, you were just a main event on this major pay-per-view, and you only sold like 200,000 pay-per-view buys. We're not going to pay you this much. And then maybe Nate Diaz will come crawling back to the UFC, and then he'll have no negotiating power anywhere else. So that's the big conspiracy going around. And I believe it. Especially Dana White probably hates Nate Diaz. He probably can't stand what the guy does, and I can't imagine what it was like dealing with him. And I'm saying this, like, I was a fan of Nate Diaz my entire career, but as the years went on, and it's almost like I kind of want to say it's CTE, or it's just Nate Diaz being Nate Diaz, or if the star power got to him. I don't know necessarily what's going on, but Nate Diaz is not the same guy. He is just getting so full of himself. And like I said, I can't imagine what it must be like dealing with him from Dana White's perspective. So I wholeheartedly do believe in this theory that's going around where the UFC is just trying to sabotage Nate Diaz. But that's just me. I would love to know what you guys think. So please comment down below if you made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. And again, comment down below. Let me know. I'd love to talk about it there. See you later, guys.